Hi everyone, we are going to be making cookie dough for our final cooking lab in here, and I wanted to just make a quick video to show you guys what steps you'll need to follow. For step one, you're going to mix together the flour with the salt. So it is 1 cup of flour. One thing that's important to note, if you do this at home, the flour needs to be heat treated, which means it needs to be cooked for a few minutes before you use it to kill off any salmonella or foodborne illnesses. The next ingredient is the salt, and you're going to add those into the bowl as well. And you are going to mix those just a little bit so they're all mixed together and evenly incorporated. And then you are going to set that aside. So you'll have one person do this. While they're doing that, another person can be doing step 2, and that is to mix your flour or your butter with your sugars. So here the recipe calls for 1 stick of butter, which is the equivalent of a 1/2 cup. And you're going to add that. And then you need 2 tablespoons and 2 teaspoons of granulated sugar, which is white sugar. 2 tablespoons. And then 2 teaspoons as well. And then you need a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. When you have the brown sugar, it needs to be tightly packed, so it should hold its shape like that when you add it to the bowl. And you are going to mix these until well blended. That's why it's important that your butter is softened. And this is going to take a little bit of time to make sure they're evenly incorporated together. Try not to make a huge mess like I just did. Right now you can see that I'm getting there. It's not fully incorporated and I can still see some of the lighter parts of where it's just butter, so I'm going to keep mixing. But you want to really make sure, otherwise when you go to eat your cookie dough, you're going to get like just bites of butter, which would not taste very good. So you really want to make sure that the butter is mixed in with the brown sugar and the white sugar. Now that I've gotten this all incorporated, I'm going to add in my milk, which is 1 tablespoon. And I'm going to add in the vanilla, which is a 1/2 tablespoon. Or the milk, sorry, was 1 teaspoon, and the vanilla is a 1/2 tablespoon. So there's my milk. And my vanilla, and now I'm going to stir those together. Okay. Once you have those 2 in, you are going to add in the dry ingredients, which are the flour and the salt from step 1. So you're going to pour those in and gently mix. It will take a couple of minutes for it to start to resemble cookie dough. Just keep mixing everything in, making sure to evenly incorporate the butter sugar mixture with the flour. You want to keep going until it forms one solid dough. You can see mine is getting a lot closer, but it's not there yet. You may need to scrape the sides of your rubber scraper from time to time just to get that dough back in there. I have mine now looking more like a cookie dough. So I'm going to add in my last ingredient, which is the chocolate chips. And it is a 1/2 cup of chocolate chips. You'll continue to fold those in evenly, making sure they're distributed throughout the cookie dough. Then you will divide up the dough and put it into, I have little plastic cups for everyone. And then you'll make sure all of your dishes are clean. Important things to remember, you have to go in the order that it's listed, but you can get the steps prepped so you can have someone measuring for step 1 and someone measuring for step 2, but make sure you do step 1 first and step 2 second. The flour has already been heat treated, so if you were to make this at home, you would need to cook or microwave the flour to kill any potential like salmonella or foodborne illnesses that might be in the flour. And this recipe does not have eggs or any leavening agents like baking soda or baking powder. So if you were to bake this recipe, they probably would not stay together and rise like regular cookie dough would. So now you would just take this, you can divide it right up into 4 or 5 pieces, depending on how many people you have in your group. And then you guys can eat that, and I have spoons available if you'd like to eat it in class. Have a great day.